should have some news music like bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 or I don't know, whatever. Welcome to Something Up. We were worthy and deserving of a proper introduction. So it is my honor to present, I think, the first time live and in person on the air as president, our newest president of the IBM, just inducted last weekend at our 100th anniversary convention, 100-year anniversary convention. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and help me welcome President Billy Shui.
Hi, guys.
I am so proud of you. Billy has been a friend not just to me, but to our entire community, and that's why he's sitting where he is with that awesome medallion around his neck, which I wish I had already been recording when you were trying to figure out how to put it on because that was fantastic. Unfortunately, I didn't get any of that footage, but yeah, how heavy is that?
It's actually really heavy. Like you can feel it on your shoulders. It's crazy.
So you're not gonna sleep with it like you originally planned? No.
Originally planned. That was your idea. What?
If you would let me borrow it, I don't plan on wearing it legally, but maybe if I know where you keep it, I can try to like pickpocket you or something.
Well, good luck with that.
Well, Nate Bargatze got to wear it for a little while. He even was going to try to.
Oh,
Everyone wants to try to pay for it and think they can buy it. Um, but it looks phenomenal. Now the Spider-Man saying, "With great power comes great responsibility." What they didn't finish is that the end of that saying is, "With great responsibility comes a great lack of sleep." So, are you prepared for that?
I mean, if everything's gonna go the way the convention went, yeah, I think I'm okay with it.
All right, excellent. So that brings us to the convention. I want to ask you about the convention, just briefly. Then we'll come back to it because you still got to do my generic intro, so we have it. But before we get into that, quickly, what are some of your goals for this year? What do we have in store for us with Billy Shui as president?
Well, my main goal for this year is to reconnect the IBM together. So we've spent 2 years in the pandemic with all these Zoom shows. We have something up my sleeve, the IBM Jam Live, the Variety Talks, and Shenanigans with me. And we've met so many people online that I want to reconnect the locals offline and then try to connect more people to the IBM globally.
Excellent. Do you think that there is an advantage due to the fact that you're one of our youngest presidents? I think, does Alex still hold the title of youngest president?
Yes, he does. I am the second
Alex.
youngest.
Alex. Uh, that yeah, and he's gonna look like the youngest no matter what you do. But yeah, you can claim that as well. But do you think that is gonna be a good influence to be able to think about reaching to the youth and figuring out how to make our organization really beneficial for them to want to be involved?
I believe so. Um, I mean, I do have a better understanding of a wider range of social medias. Using Twitch, through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I'm literally on all the platforms, and not only that, um, we did manage to appoint Miss Gabriella Lester as our social media person, so you can catch her running all of our social media
Which
platforms.
is excellent. We need to get somebody in
Hmm.
the know, and of course, you're going to be very busy and can't do all that yourself, even if you do understand it. We did learn that our past president now, Ken Scott, has a MySpace page, and that's hit the limit of his familiarity with the social media world.
That's right.
Uh, but he can show us how to properly roll a poster board into a mailing tube so that we don't damage the edges of our commemorative Copperfield poster. So
Yes.
had he not been there, a lot of people would have gone home with busted up posters of Copperfield. I do want to give a shout out to, of course, we jest, but we absolutely love Ken Scott, and we want to give credit to Ken for what an amazing convention, and of course his entire team and everybody involved with helping with that, including you, Billy. But some quick highlights and thoughts as to what was your takeaway from that amazing convention last weekend?
Um, I honestly loved the TED Talks that were given. That was some of the most eye-opening and insightful programs I've ever been to. If you guys missed it, we had like a bunch of close-up talks, as well as history, for those who are interested in history of the blooming rose bush, as well as interviews with Las Vegas headliners. It was incredible. It wasn't all about the magic tricks, more as the information, the experience, the presenters were giving us. It was incredible.
And that's what we're seeing more and more with like situations like this, where really it's we could do a trick here and there if we want to, but it's more about a behind the scenes talk. And one would think that that's not as interesting, but I guess especially with people that have been in this industry for a while, I found that when someone was up on stage doing a card trick, my eyes start drooping. But yet if they're just talking about some kind of experience in this last show they had, I'm like wide-eyed and wanting to hear about this. So I think there's something to be said for that too, which is how interesting it is just to hear us chat about it. So more, were you calling it TED Talks or panel discussions?
I'll need to relook at the schedule, but that's what the format I believe is like TED Talk. That's what I refer it to.
Would you say that the turnout was about the same between the TED Talks and the regular types of lectures?
I would say so. Yes, it's about the same.
And how about I'm going to ask you a lot more, but later we'll continue because I want to review a lot of our favorite parts of the convention. But quickly, I know a highlight for everyone. How cool was it to have David Copperfield there virtually 3 nights in a row showing us his museum?
That was insane. It was so cool to even like take a little sneak peek behind like the back his background, just looking at all the cool little things that we can see through the video. And we're so grateful for David Copperfield to be there for us and spend his time and allow Ken to interview him during the convention. That was such a cool experience.
I think that's how you know how much he loves the craft, because he could have just offered one night in between his shows, but instead we had him for 3 days in a row taking time out to show us what he loves, and that is his magic collection now and the history behind that, and how meaningful it is to him. Of course, later I'll show the souvenirs of what we got, and what the takeaway is, hopefully to encourage people to not miss such an amazing time. So when the next convention comes around, we hope to see you there, and who knows what kind of surprises are in store. The next one is in Pittsburgh.
That's right. We'll be in Pittsburgh.
All right.
Awesome. You guys can take a look at www.ibmconvention.com and stay in touch there and keep track of all of our talent releases, schedule, and what we have planned for you.
Okay, so what I want to do is, since I have you, get my generic recorded intro that I can use all the time. So I'm going to put the video just on you. You just give me whatever you feel like. You've known me long enough. You can talk about me however you want, but specifically about the show, about something up my sleeve that we can use in later broadcasts. I'm going to make a montage of all the presidents going welcome, that kind of thing. So I'll cut to you. You do the intro, throw it back to me, and then that's the point where I'll take it and introduce everything else we're doing. So take it away, Mr. President. Wait, I exited you. That was horrible. I didn't mean to do that. I vanished you instead of me. Hold on, take it away.
It's okay. No, you're okay to vanish me. I'm good if you vanish me, because I have no idea. You're gonna get a very generic intro.
Your first act as president, and you disappear from the screen. All right, it's my turn, so I'll go smoke bomb. Take it away, Mr. President. Smoke bomb.
Hi, Welcome to Something Up My Sleeve. This is a very generic intro, so please welcome Michael Dardon. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Beautiful. If of all the introductions, seriously, Billy, of all the introductions I have ever received, that was the briefest. All right. Thank you so much. We're going to actually cut back to our president, but that is President Billy Shui. I guess first official act as president, unless he had some responsibilities at the convention after Ken gave him the medal. Um, Good news and bad news. Good news, yes, we do have the most amazing bubble magician. Thanks for that shout out, Benjamin. Meadow Perry is here to talk to us. It's going to be incredible. However, we're not sure if Michelle's going to make it. If not, we're going to have him on a future show. He did run into some trouble, so he may be able to join me at the end. But Michel Huyo, who is an amazing performer from Montreal, and one of his skills is memorization, which is one of the things that I want to talk to him about. He will be here at some point. We'll just make him appear. So, luckily, being the good magician I am, we have something called the one ahead principle. And I was one ahead anyway because I have more fun stuff with Billy. So I'm going to cut back to that, show you a little bit. We pre-recorded it because Billy's actually at a ring meeting, so we need to pre-record his segment. So maybe I've already confused many of you. You don't know if this is the past or future or now, but we're going to cut back to Billy and then get on with some fun activities. We have a game for you, and of course, the not only magically talented, but musically talented Meadow Perry, which I was reminded of that because Joe Turner's in the chat and Joe was playing the piano. And because of Joe's beautiful piano playing, we got to discover that Meadow also has musical talents as well, beautiful singing voice. So we're going to hear about all kind of things, but let's go back to Billy. Let me take this one off. I don't even know where it was playing from. Okay. Make sure I share the sound. I'm going to do share screen and this one, share audio. Boom. Should be right back at the same part there. If of all the introductions, seriously, Billy, of all the introductions I have ever received, that was the briefest. So now let's continue a little bit more. I would love to review more about the convention. Did you see the Mario's lecture?
I did not see Mario's
Ah,
lecture.
okay. Oh man, they kept pulling you in a million directions, I guess, too. Well, do you I can't believe I'm addressing the president saying you're probably too young to remember.
Oh no.
I feel so fortunate that I met and was backstage with Del Rey when I was 13. Like that's how long ago. And so when somebody asked the question during that lecture about Del Rey, and that's how I saw Mario as the next Del Rey because this was at a time when people they didn't have robotic things around their house or electronic can openers and uh nowadays, seeing something move across the floor may as well be a cat's toy. But seeing something move across Del Rey's table and then realizes that he's actually has robotics and magnets and all this crazy stuff involved when you don't know what. Like people are going, it's got to be a string, and he's like, "What string? Which string? Look at my table here. It's insane." And he was like beyond his time doing that stuff. And now I'm seeing that genius coming out of Mario of like these this whole robotics show of really just gags that you don't know. I'm sitting there wondering, I'm like, how is he timing this perfectly? And then he turns his trunk around and explains it all to us. And it's like beyond me that I know it's like a whole new side of magic, a whole new hobby. Those that know me know like I have no business trying to build a robot right now. That's I'm like, I need a little more training before. Don't put me in charge of building a robot, or it might come to life and destroy us all. But that was my take on what was happening there. I thought that was really. You talk a little bit about the Lance Burton Teen Seminar because that was definitely inspiring as well.
I wasn't able to be at the Lance Burton Teen Seminar. However, from all I've seen the youth run around the convention, uh, doing what they do, and this year's this year's youth are absolutely amazing. There's
They're
we can
incredible.
expect. Yeah, they are. They really are.
I have high hopes for the future Magic, even if it's just them. Even if they get trapped on an island and we have another apocalypse, but those magicians are able to still be creative and energetic. I couldn't believe, not just during, they would doing their own thing and people were inspired, seeing pictures and hearing about that. But then during each one of the shows, you knew exactly where they were because they cheered the loudest, they had the most energy, most willingness to help. And that's not what you expect in a teenager, is it, these days? So I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with everything that's happened with Lance Burton, with McBride School of Magic, what that influence as well over the youth and the growing process
Mhm.
in this weird art. Um, so
The
I
best part about the whole program is that all those youth got to attend that program for free, and also the convention for free.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. Well,
Uh,
what better way to encourage the youth to participate than going, you don't have to spend anything because that's
yep.
definitely a hindrance when you're growing up trying to figure out. It was for me. If my IBM ring didn't meet in New Iberia, Louisiana, then I wouldn't have been able to. I probably wouldn't be a magician because there's no way I could have found gas money to drive to Lafayette or a ride to go to Lafayette or whatever the nearest big town was. So that's a huge plus for the youth that are involved in our
Nearest big
organization.
town was.
Um, should explain because some people didn't know if we are live. So Billy has a ring meeting tonight, and I really wanted to introduce him as the new president and have the new president introduce me, but so we needed to pre-record it, and we're gonna actually take the first like 10 minutes of what we did for me to start tonight's show, and then I'm gonna take it away, and I'll be wearing the same thing. So we're gonna fool all the magicians because I'm not
Thinking that
telling
I'm
them.
here. Yeah.
They don't know that this is gonna be cut together. So as long as I don't change clothes and I don't change my lighting too badly, this they're gonna think Billy's there when he's not. So you should you should pull it up at the ring meeting and go like, how are we doing this? How am I doing
It's
this?
magic.
Alternates that's the power you get. You're like Doctor Strange when you put that chain around your neck. You're like opening up portals and everything coming through. Like, yeah, I'm on the stream. Where do I need to be? It totally works.
Oh man, it's great.
Talked about Copperfield being there virtually on the big screen and talking with Ken and the crowd and how awesome it was. What about that final night when he decided to do a card trick?
Oh, that, that was crazy.
You
I
did,
didn't expect that at all.
I honestly didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Why shouldn't we? Why should we not? But because, and that they're another example of how he loves his craft. I mean, he's proven himself. I'm like nobody's gonna go do a trick. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
do a trick, Magic Boy. Is that really you? Like, I think he made the Statue of Liberty disappear. We get it. All right, let's just listen to what he has to say. But he's like, hey, you want to see a card? Anybody have a deck of cards? And what I couldn't believe is how blown away I was, just like I was as a kid, because he's so precise and perfect at what he does that no matter how much you think you know, you're always left wondering. I'm sure he knows how many different ways we're wondering, and even even Ken's reaction tells me nothing. Like I can't figure anything out. Now I'm more clueless. That was incredible. Yeah. Just the fact that years and years later, he can still make a room full of people
Yep.
that are supposed to know this stuff. He can make them confused.
Yep. And our
So,
insurance policy. Don't forget to show off that.
oh, you know what? I used it last night in my freak stream.
You know what's also
So,
really funny? Sean used it at the airport
did he really? He did the insurance trick at the airport?
because we
Oh my
were
gosh.
our original flight was delayed. Well, it was delayed. So when we landed in Calgary from Atlanta, um, we missed. They said, "Oh, you're going to miss your connecting flight." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, that sucks. I mean, since we have to do the whole customs thing, grab our luggage, and walk out and recheck everything in." And we're like, "Okay, fine, whatever." And so we walked in. We walked to the WestJet counter, like I don't know, 3 or 4 miles down the road. Like we walked almost the entire length of the airport.
Jeez.
and we get there, and there was it was a reasonably sized line. And from the time that we got into line until we got to the counter, it was about 4 hours. It was really long. And in between that 4 hours, Sean did magic for some of the people in line and did the insurance policy, and it was really good. Everyone was freaking out, which is really fun to watch in the middle of an airport.
But why did you choose that one? Did it just because?
He was like, "Oh, I have this. Let's do this."
That's based.
Days of the
Yeah,
week
I
that
know.
end in the letter Y. This policy does not cover the sawing of people in half. Shoot. Or straitjackets. Oh, I didn't know it doesn't cover. Well, damn. No, we're not gonna be able to do it, guys. Sorry. No, just it's too risky. I'm gonna take it away. Apparently, it doesn't cover straitjackets, so we're not gonna do that today. Magician can
Card trick. Yep. So that was one of the bonuses we got at the convention. Who knew that I would use it right away? And so did Sean, apparently. You see him in the airport. Oh, I can find your card. I don't even need my suitcase. I have an insurance policy right here. Cool. So oh, I'm glad I got to share that with you. I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna send it to Sean for sure. Sean also designed the deck of cards. I'll share that right now as well.
Yes,
This
they're
is
absolutely
beautiful.
gorgeous.
In fact, I'll open it now because I'm not gonna have time to go through all this later. I'm doing the unboxing of these. I only have the one. They only had.
What? Then don't open it.
I don't do that. I'm not a hoarder. I don't
Oh,
understand
okay.
that. I don't
You're
understand that
not like
concept. It's
you're
like
not like me. Got it.
it's like
Okay.
it's not like not playing with your toys. I mean, like, yeah, some decks I'm not gonna necessarily use. I'll leave, but to have like the entire collection and none of them's been open, like and then what? And what are you gonna? We're gonna have a huge game of Go Fish in one day, like. So unless you, I mean, yeah, if you're gonna, unless you just want the value, so that yeah, it'll be worth something you can sell them. But I'm guessing that you're never gonna sell them if you're gonna take the time to keep each deck sealed like that. Make sure you have one of each deck. You're not selling them. Nobody's
Yeah.
gonna. You're never gonna let them go.
Yeah, you're right.
But I am being careful with the sticker. See, so
Yes,
because
we made it. We made it specifically so that you can peel the stick. You can peel the sticker off without breaking it.
Yeah, so without breaking the seal. So good. All right. So yeah, these are really well. It's even I love the box. Under the sticker it says IBM. That's pretty cool. That's a nice little subtlety. I feel like I'm reviewing like a car or something like. And look under the dashboard. That's a nice subtlety they put there. Yep, 100-year anniversary. I'm back. Love it. And yeah, so there are some cool features that I saw about these cards that people may not realize. It's a natural one way, I think, face up though, right? Face up.
Yep, face up.
Which, okay, why not? I mean, I don't know who's gonna use that, but it's always a nice feature, always a nice option. And then if you do have one of these decks, you're going to want to take a close look at the Queen of Spades. That's all I'm going to say, actually, because I don't want to give it away to anybody. But if you do get one of these commemorative decks, 100 years. So the organization of the International Brotherhood of Magicians has been around one. Oh, and check it out. Check out the Ace of Diamonds. Now that looks cool.
Yep, we did that with all of our aces.
Sweet.
And
oh yeah,
you'll notice on the court cards. On the court cards, you'll notice we changed the color palette of the of the clothing so that it's a nice blue and gold.
Yep, matches. See, look, we got going. We got IBM blue.
We got
nice.
IBM blue.
IBM blue. Beautiful. And let's see. Oh, I do. I thought I had to go get the poster. I forgot. I did bring it in. It is in here. The coin was amazing. Oh, I'm so glad I have this coin because in a moment, that's what I didn't want to forget to ask you about. Because in fact, I know you're gonna have to go. We can end on that and then I'll have time to cut the rest. But you know what I'm talking about, the coin, not this coin, but this coin is really cool too. I'm gonna show that to the camera.
Yes.
For attending the convention, you receive one of these David Copperfield commemorative coins. Everyone at the convention is given one of these as a surprise gift. That's
right.
Super cool. That's amazing.
And not just the front, the back has the IBM logo, which is really cool.
Ah, there we go. And this really cool poster. It's very thick cardstock. Wow. Copperfield, the GOAT. He was
Did
declared
Ken roll
the
that for
GOAT.
you? It looks really good.
I listened to our president's instructions and I rolled it properly, so it did get done. I got it back home safely. But this is a great. I obviously have to move because I don't have any place to put this. So. All right, that was just some of the amazing features of being at the convention. So glad to be a part of it. Don't miss the next one, which will be in about a year in Pittsburgh. In a moment, I want to tell you about the winners of the competitions, the close-up and stage competitions, and give them a shout out. And then we're going to do our Magician's Pose contest. But I do want to make sure you know that next week we're really excited. Billy's going to be there. I'm going to be there. A lot of amazing magicians. It's going to be incredible for the World Championships of Magic. We will be in Quebec for FISM. The first time it has been on North American soil. FISM Quebec 2022. It was supposed to be what 2 years ago, whenever, and of course, everything got pushed back a little bit. We're procrastinating because of the pandemic, but yes, Joe Turner will be there. We're gonna have a blast. That's awesome. Absolutely. So that's coming up. And of course, I got to put a bug in your ear for the next SAM convention because guess where it is? You guys can come to my hometown. I would love to greet you here in New Orleans. First time there's been a magic convention in New Orleans in 20 years. Not a single magic convention in 20 years, probably because of the flood. Yeah, I think it was because of the flood. So the New Orleans SAM convention coming up next year, July 2023. Let's go back to the IBM poster. There's Copperfield. There's all our performers. And let me now announce this is the one that we just had this weekend. Special guest, the GOAT, David Copperfield. And here are your winners. Unbelievable acts. The competition was amazing. The close-up winners, we have Award of Merit that was given to Jackson Oliver of Honolulu. And these winners are spread all over the world. First place from South Africa, Anya Stein, I believe it's Stein, from Cape Town, South Africa, won first place and got some additional awards as well. Basically, we were caking them in trophies. In adult close-up division, Award of Merit went to Tetro with an amazing act out of Hollywood, California, and first place, Michael Blomecki from North Carolina, who also won the People's Choice. I hope you get a chance to see his act. It was incredible. I wish I had thought of it. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. In stage, in the youth awards, we had Award of Merit to Rena Cooey. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing the names. All of these acts were beautiful and different, all in their own way. And she comes from Fresh Meadows, New York. First place was Anya again. First place in youth in stage. So her close-up act and stage both won first, and she's again from South Africa and winner of the Phantasma Award. In fact, the Phantasma was so ready to give out money, they almost gave it to the wrong person. I want friends like that. I've never seen somebody so anxious to give out money. That was amazing. And then in the adult division, Award of Merit, the Washuang from the People's Republic of China. Beautiful, beautiful act. Won the Award of Merit. You have to see it. So visual and such a story. Absolutely gorgeous. And in first place, that brought the house down from Russia originally, Artem Shunik. Artem Shunik. I'm going to ask him how to pronounce it when I see him next week. I believe he's going to be at FISM as well. And he also won People's Choice, first place, and an award we haven't seen in years because it's not always given out. It depends on if all the judges believe that the act on every level was up to par, and that is the gold medal. We're happy to announce a new IBM stage gold medal winner, Artem Shunik. I love it. And he's agreed to be on the show. We're gonna bring Artem on the show as well, so you get to hear from him. I hope you get a chance to see that act. flawless, absolutely flawless. We saw some beautiful, beautiful acts in the competition, and that was your winners from the International Brotherhood of Magicians Convention that just took place last weekend. And now, you know what that sound means. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh, squeaker's broken. All right, well, let's pretend there was a squeaker sound. So you know what that sound means. It's time for our Magician's Pose contest. That's when everybody in the chat, you get to choose which of these magicians wins the stereotypical best magician's pose. So let me show you what we have to work with. We have the first one is going to be my guest, who may have to be a future guest. He got hung up, but he'll be here soon, and that is not sure what's happening there, but this is Michel's best magician's pose. I've seen all of his pictures. This is definitely his best magician's pose. I think we have something to work with. I believe what was happening here is this is when he was learning Spanish, because the best way to begin is they say you just spell socks, S-O-C-K-S. So that may be what's happening here. But let's see who else is in competition. We have, believe it or not, Meadow Perry. Now, this is going to be a hard one to beat. Not many magicians can take this pose or deliver a science lesson at the same time. So this is an amazing shot. That's going to be tough to beat because of the way she's positioning those bubbles. But the only way I guess you could try to contend with a bubble magician is to be in a bubble yourself. Contestant number 3 is David Blaine in a bubble. Things are getting rough. I don't know if Michel even stands a chance. So there are your 3 to vote for. You can vote for David Blaine in a bubble, Meadow Perry playing with her bubbles, or Michel doing something with these socks. So go ahead and get your votes in the chat. I'll give you a few seconds. If you want, I'll sing the Jeopardy tune, but that would be almost too predictable. Go ahead and you can put either 1, 2, 3, or put the names in the chat. And of course, we are streaming on different platforms, so we're reading several chats at once. And I will very quickly, because I'm good in math, I will very quickly tabulate the scores. I wanted to point out that once we're done with our hour on Facebook, represented by the IBM, we do keep the stream going for an after-hours chat. Billy hopes to be back to join us, and perhaps Michel will be here as well, but Meadow Perry will be sticking around, and that is on the Not That Magic Mike Twitch channel, and that's where you can also ask questions of our guests if there's things you want to know about. It's a little bit more just relaxed, low-key chat there on the Twitch channel, so you can stick around after we're done for that. But I believe it is time to tabulate the scores. And it looks like we do have a winner who has won the contest, and it is in fact Billy. Billy, our president, who we know that he became president because he's all about the money. He's doing it for the money. Our winner, Billy Shui, President Billy Shui. Show me the money. Billy wins with the money pose. Excellent. Good to have you here, Starbreeze. Don't worry about being late. Thank you all for participating in the chat, too. I appreciate that. Thank you for your votes. I know, Joe. I know. It's hard. It's going to be tough to find something more adorable than Meadow. But Billy wins this one because he's the president. So we're just going to let him have it. All right. Let me remove that one. All right. You can go for now, Billy. Thank you very much. And see if I can get the next video up as I introduce our guest. Well, we saw her online a year ago at the IBM online convention, and we're so impressed we had to see her in person. She was brought back to perform live last weekend at that's the wrong video. I hope you didn't even hear that one. Let me get to Meadow's video. She performed for one of our gala shows at the IBM convention and just blew everybody away. And that's not a pun, because yes, she blows bubbles, but she did blow everyone away. She also, even though she does bubbles, may be the reason that the competitors weren't allowed to use any pyrotechnics. I'm not sure if that's who's to blame, but we can ask and find out more about that. But for now, let's check out this awesome video here. We're going to share that one. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to bring you the beautiful and unique magic of Meadow Perry. Welcome to Something Up My Sleeve. So glad to have you.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
It's amazing. It's really cool because I just met you in person this weekend. That was the first time, even though I'd seen you perform online a year ago, and followed all your socials and knew that you were doing really, really unique, beautiful stuff I had never seen before. It's just so cool and such an honor to meet you in person and then see you on stage. And thank you so much for being here as part of the show. Let's kick this off. My first question to my guest is always, what is something up your sleeve? And I see you're not wearing sleeves, but metaphorically speaking, we know you bring the bubbles to the table, and we're going to talk about how unique that is, but I want you to dig deeper beyond that. Why is Meadow Perry Meadow Perry? What do you bring to the table that makes you a unique performer?
Well, I think that I come at magic from a different angle. I didn't start in magic until much later. Usually the response is, yeah, I got a magic kit when I was 10. I also got a magic kit when I was 10. However, I had no magic like role models. So I ended up in musical theater. And so now in my 30s, I come at magic with all this musical theater background and kind of this theatricality. And the bubbles, I don't know, I became obsessed with bubbles along the way. And now that's become my thing. So I get to use sort of like my acting skills and my production skills and really like diving into scripting and beats in a routine. And I think that's the thing that sets me apart, not only from magicians, but also from other bubble artists. Because it's not just, boom, here's a trick, boom, here's a trick. It's smart and clever, and there's a theme, and there's a flow, and there's a story. And I think that's what's up my sleeve.
That was beautiful. Okay, before we continue from that point, let me back you up a little bit because I thought that was interesting. You didn't have magic role models, so you got into music. And I'm wondering, like, how many times has that happened to other people? And is that why Criss Angel is so angry? I'm kidding. All right. Anyway, yeah, we all know he wanted to be a rock star. So back to the bubbles. So I'm sure you get that question all the time, why bubbles? But what I was mainly curious about is like, which came first? Did you make the bubbles magic, or were you into magic first, and that's why you went that way with it, or did bubbles come along?
Yeah, they kind of came at the same time. To try and fill in the gaps. I'm a single mom, and it's really hard to get to rehearsals because I have two little guys, 7 and 9, and it's hard to get to rehearsals. So I needed something using my skills that I didn't have to, find a babysitter for, something I could rehearse with the kids at home. So I started doing princess parties, impersonating a princess for birthday parties. And I just so happened to fit the role of Elsa. I mean, the Ice Queen, because we don't want any copyright. The Ice Queen.
Usually, let's call her by her middle name. I think it was Elsa. It was Elsa Nicole. Was it Elsa Nicole?
Yeah. So I started doing this little trick of making a solid bubble and freezing a bubble as Elsa. I mean, the Snow Queen. It was a little giveaway, and I was doing magic before I really considered it magic. I just considered it a cutesy thing that kids loved. That they thought, wow, the Ice Queen is actually magic, and she actually has powers, because that's the thing with all the other princesses is they don't have these magical powers, but the Ice Queen does. So they always say,
yeah, finally, right? All the other princesses, all they have is sidekicks. They have talking animals, which is cool, but it's not a power. It's not their power, you know.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, the Ice Queen got the credit, and I wanted more. So I made a fairy character, and she fit into the Renaissance fair world. And another magician juggler friend of mine, Doug Stafford, said, "Hey, why don't you do these giant bubbles?" And I did, and there was such a reaction of wonderment to these bubbles, and it was the most photographed thing of that season. And they wanted me to come back the next year, and just my interaction with the kids, my improv skills, I decided, you know what? I think there's a show here. I think people would like a show. So I started making a show. And then, of course, the wind is a thing. And bubbles are very susceptible to the wind. So I needed backup things in my show just in case the bubbles weren't going to work because it was too windy or whatever. So I started adding more magic. And now it keeps evolving. Yeah.
So that's an interesting question, though, because you bill yourself as the bubble magician. Well, and we talked about that outdoor gigs are so rough, and I hadn't even considered. I'm thinking rough because I live in Louisiana. Like, I don't even want to go outside right now. Too hot. Well, too windy. That's not really good on bubbles. So, what do you do in that situation, or what bubble effects are you able to do?
Well, so right now I have this tabletop that has like an acrylic box on it that will sort of shield me from the wind. But if the wind is just too strong, it still swirls inside that box and it's not great. So I just have extra magic effects in my toolkit that, I'll try it because the thing with the wind is that it's not constant all the time. There'll be little breaks. So I have to go with the flow. Pardon the pun. I have to go with the flow of the bubbles and the wind. So if I can't do something right now in the show, say building the bubble carousel or the bubble cube or one of those intricate sculptures, I'm going to go and do a different bubble trick that's more magic minded that isn't susceptible to the wind. And then maybe it'll die down and I can go back to it. So it's kind of, you have to think on your feet and improv a little bit and go with the flow. And I have extra tricks just in case.
Have you tried controlling the wind?
I've tried,
Okay.
We commonly, I will have, if I have a participant up on stage, I'll have them do the stop the wind dance. And we stand up there and we go, stop it, wind, stop it, wind. It's a bit that we do.
It works one more time. How's it go again? One more time.
Stop it, wind. Stop it, wind.
That's a great stop the wind dance. I'm gonna have to learn it. No, it's just funny that you said your favorite princess is the Ice Queen, who basically has powers like Storm from the X-Men, and when we're watching your video, I mean, it looks like you're manipulating the elements. That's the best way I can describe it. And so I was gonna ask you, I was gonna relate to you, you're like Storm from the X-Men, and then you're like, oh well, the Disney version of Storm, basically. So yeah. I can see now. I get the relation of why you would like her the best, why you would like that character.
Absolutely.
Incredible. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video on the part and bring it back up because I think even Joe Turner was mentioning something that is incredibly unique. In fact, I want to show this to make sure you get credit for it because I've never seen anything like it. And then once we watch it, I'll tell them about the conversation we had because I found that very amusing about this particular effect. So I'm going to add this here and watch close what's happening here, folks. Okay, all right, tell the truth. That's real magic.
It is.
Tell us you have powers. So that looks amazing. And when I first saw it, I said to you, I didn't think something like that could be possible. And your response was, and I quote, "Well, you don't understand bubbles."
Yeah, once you understand the properties of bubbles.
And it's true. I haven't sat down to try to understand them. Like I've never really tried to communicate with bubbles, I guess. And so it's almost like you have a special connection to these little light spheres of happiness floating around. So speak to that. How do you understand bubbles?
Well, I just play with them a lot. I'm a 37-year-old woman and I play with bubbles. That's literally what I do. But I early on when I started learning bubbles, and it really is the nuance and just really minute things which cause the bubbles to do a certain thing, and it literally can be a matter of like half an inch. If you move the straw half an inch this way, you're not going to pop it, or you're going to get the rotation exactly the way you want. So it's really about finding that finesse. And I've done an interview with Tom Noddy. Some of you know Tom Noddy, and it's funny because he actually performed at an IBM convention way back when, and he's makes a joke. He's like, I thought it was computers and it was magicians. But had kind of the same reaction that I'm getting from this IBM convention. And he talks about doing the circuit and performing alongside Finn John, and how Finn John told him, you're like what to bubbles, like what I am to threads, to ITR. And just, I find that really fascinating that you can have this thing that's really finicky and delicate, and that's kind of the danger of it. Knowing how to push the limits of that and being really delicate with it, I think is, I find it fascinating. And
It is
I like
very fascinating, and the fact that it's almost like people pick up different types of superpowers along the way, and they just figure out how to master it. And what was the quote? Somebody made the quote this weekend that it's nothing's. It's only impossible if you're not trying hard enough, or something to that effect. So without reveal, obviously, I don't want you to reveal anything about that effect as far as what's going on. But other than that effect, because we don't understand bubbles, I don't know what's happening there. What is something else? What is something we probably don't know about bubbles?
Gosh. Well, I have a sciencey show, and I kind of talk about the science behind bubbles. One of my favorite facts is that bubbles barely exist, and that they only exist on our planet. They can't exist out in space. And because the gravity is just right, and all the air is trying to get out at the same time. And the layer of the bubble is fascinating. It's only nanometers thin. It literally barely exists. For example, the surface of a bubble can be from 10 to 1,000 nanometers. And the different thicknesses is how you see all those swirling colors. A piece of hair, a strand of hair, is usually about 40,000 nanometers. So that tells you a bubble is 10 to 1,000. A piece of hair is 40,000. So that tells you just how thin and delicate a bubble is. And that's probably my favorite thing about bubbles to share.
Awesome. Okay, so I have two more that I want you to hit on really quickly, and then I'll give you a break because I see that Michelle made it. We're gonna bring Michelle's here. We're gonna bring in Michelle, and then bring you back and allow people to hang out with us and ask questions. So in about 10 minutes, we're gonna keep the Twitch channel going. We'll exit out of the Facebook, but those that want to stick around, there might be a lot of bubble questions. So we're gonna keep you in our bubble for a little while longer. But before we switch over, first off, I don't think we covered I know how we found you for this last convention, because you were part of the online convention. How did we find you for that one? How did you end up performing for the IBM?
That's a good question. So because of the pandemic, I started doing a virtual show. So I debuted my stage show in February on Valentine's Day of 2020. And then the pandemic hit.
Wow.
So I started doing this virtual show. At first it was like, what are we going to do? I was a daycare teacher and performed on the weekends. There's no daycare job in the middle of a pandemic. So I said, well, I'm going to use my skills. And I started doing this virtual show, and I think it may have been Sean Farquhar that found me. I don't know.
It's always Sean. No one has ever found unless Sean. No, yeah. Sean's the one that finds. I don't even know how he finds them. He can just be walking the woods and go, someone's doing a card trick.
Yeah. I performed for the International Jugglers Festival virtually. I also performed for the Bindlestiff Circus. And then just my own virtual show. I had like Jeff McBride and Max Maven at my show. So it was just kind of networking a lot with magicians. So I'm sure Sean found me somehow.
And we're absolutely glad he did. Okay, so I didn't prepare you for this one, but it's actually one I keep forgetting. I want to ask every one of my guests this question because I know we've all had some kind of experience, and we never get to it. We get off track. But what is something that has happened in airport security?
Oh. It's funny because you would think that more things would happen with my stuff because it
Well,
looks
especially since you
questionable.
set bubbles on fire, I would think that people would
Yeah,
get concerned.
yeah, but they actually don't care. There was a woman stopped in front of me when I was flying out for Masters of Illusion. There was a woman that was stopped in front of me. They were going through all her stuff. They were questioning all these things, and I was like, oh man, how do I? But I was like, oh yes, this thing. Yep, this I make smoke bubbles, and they're
Oh
like,
boy.
okay, no problem.
No
And
problem.
then
That looks
no
like a
problem.
gun. It looks like the gun
Right,
that was part of that show where
right.
I think it was John Malkovich had like I think he was gonna kill the president, and he had like a wooden gun with two bullets. I don't remember what show, but
Yeah,
so they just let that go. Oh, I blow bubbles and you're fine.
yeah. And
Yeah, you know what?
the funny
Life is easier for beautiful people. Okay.
I
Jeez.
have been stopped before because I use a lot of glycerin, and glycerin is the thing that they test your hands for, which is in a lot of like lotions and soaps and things. But
It's also in nitroglycerin.
yeah,
Yeah.
so but I haven't had that many problems with airport security, thankfully. Knock on wood.
I think Michelle is going to top it because it sounds like he looked like he got really excited when I asked about that. Maybe that'll be the first question from Michelle. You know, I had gate C4 on my way back from coming back from Atlanta. My gate was C4,
Yeah,
and I love that because it's the only time you can say that letter and that number in the airport and get away
right.
with it. As long as it's on my gate, I can go C4. I'm looking for C4. Anybody got C4? Otherwise, forget it. They'll tackle you. All right.
Wow.
If in case you guys can't hang out later, we'll say a temporary goodbye. As I tuck Meadow Perry backstage. We got to go on longer because I have a million more questions. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful magic with us. Thank you for being part of the IBM convention and part of the show today. Meadow Perry, round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Give her a
Thank you.
hand.
It's an honor.
And now coming all the way from Montreal, wearing an especially pink shirt and ready to tell us about his experience with airport security. He's a magician, a mentalist, and a memorizer. Michel Huyot. Michel! Oh, I'm so glad you made it.
Michael, how are you, my friend?
You look great. You look great. I'm almost there. Look, I got to grow it out a little bit more.
Yeah. And sorry, I'm not in my studio. I'm at home. I had no time to go to the studio. I was on the baseball field 25 minutes ago.
Yeah, you rushed back. I really appreciate that because I know that you didn't expect that they're having a tournament, I guess, is
No,
what's
it's not a
happening.
tournament, but we lost, but still they ran late. So I just got here. I took a shower and didn't have time. So I'm at home right now. So you see all,
But see,
yeah.
but do we know that for sure? Because see, like you could be in front of a green screen. See, that looks like my shelves, and it is my shelves, but it's a picture of my shelves.
Yeah, well, you know what? In my studio, I've got 5 cameras. I'm all set up. But here, I had no time to go there. And here, I've got my big screen that big in front of me, and it didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work. So now I've got my phone. So my phone is that big, and your head is that big. It's
Oh, so you
just
can't even see that I have sort of a beer started. You can't even tell.
wait. Yes, I
Yeah.
can now.
Okay. All right. So before I get to any of the other stuff, I'm going to hit you with some questions really fast, and hopefully you can stick around and chat with us a little bit because we do try to stick to the time. But yeah, you lit up. I want to hear. You probably have like 10 stories about airport security, but give me
Yeah.
like your best one.
Well, all right. Okay, which one am I? Okay. Well, you know that I created, amongst other things, I created Priceless, right?
Yes.
So whenever I do a show that I don't need to, that I only have a carry on, I wear my jacket. And well, I always have Priceless inside my jacket.
So they
So
immediately think you're a thief.
Then you explain and
Uh,
you go, no, look, name a price, name a price. I mean,
Yeah, you
nah.
got to do the trick for it. See, for those that don't know, basically it's the it's the magnetic security tag that you see on clothing that you can't rip off. So it knows if you go through the scanner, it knows you've stolen the item. But he has a signed card to. Uh,
No. That's Sean Farquhar's.
oh, sorry.
Prices is the price.
Oh, that's right. You write the price that it's a mentalism effect where you write
Yeah,
the price down and then that ends up attached. Oh, that's great. So
yeah,
but either way you look like a thief
yeah.
when you're going through.
So many stories about prices.
So I skipped the first question. We always go out of order, but my first question to my guest is always, what is something up your sleeve? Meaning, what is it that makes you that you're bringing to the table to make you a performer and a unique one?
Remembering people's names.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no there's nothing magic wise that for me is stronger than remembering the names of people you just met or you met an hour or 2 hours ago. And when, let's say, I do cocktails for a cocktail for about an hour, and then they go have dinner, and then I'm not in front of them for 2 hours, and then I do a show, a 30-minute show at the end. The last thing I do, I say, the last trick is for all of you. It's for you, Meadow. It's for you, Michael. It's for you, Abel. It's for you, Norma. It's for you, and I name everybody. So there's nothing stronger for me. Nothing.
Wow, that's hadn't really thought of it that way, but in a sense, when you get really good at that skill, it appears to be doing magic as well. So I want to ask a little bit more about that. Was really what I wanted to focus on the most. I want to mention that we're going to see each other, which I'm excited about because we'll both be at FISM. I just shared the link to the video. That's okay, right? The one that you sent me.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the new one, right?
Yes. Okay. I just shared the link in chat so everybody can go to it and see a little bit more about your products and what you're doing as a dealer. And you will have that there. Yes, you'll have that at FISM. So anybody going to FISM, make sure to stop by and see Michelle, and you can see firsthand some of these effects that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about that, being able to be part of the World Championships. But your memorization course. So you've found a way to sort of also define yourself, not only being able to perform in a more versatile way because you can do stuff online or in person, but by focusing on just like we have the unique skill of Meadows bubbles, you are focusing on the unique skill of memorization.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what?
How did that come about? Do you remember how that started? Okay.
Clearly.
Very
So what
clearly.
happened? Yeah, about 18, 19 years ago, I was working for the Cirque du Soleil. So I was doing all of their corporate gigs, not under the tent. All of their corporate gigs. Sorry, I was doing magic for all of them, and especially their golf tournament. You're so little in my screen. So all their golf tournaments. And at one point, I remember. So what I do at a golf tournament, I'm on one of the holes, and I stay there with my table, and I do close up magic to every foursome that goes by. Right. So I see 36 foursome of. So that's 144 people. So at one point, I remember seeing a guy who looks exactly like my brother, and my brother, his name is Jocelyn. I know for you guys it's a woman's name, but Michelle is a woman's name also. So
Yeah, but I've
we're all.
told you that for years because
I know, I know.
people get mine wrong. I'm like, no, Michael, Michelle.
Yeah, pink shirt. And yeah, so he looked like my brother Jocelyn. And so I went to greet him like I always do, and he tells me his name, and his name is Jocelyn. So he looks like my brother Jocelyn,
Wow.
and his name is Jocelyn. A year after, I'm still hired by Le Cirque du Soleil at the same golf tournament. I see that guy coming, and I say, "Wow, he looks like my brother Jocelyn." And then, boom, whoa! I remember that. I remember that guy. His name is Jocelyn. So I went to him and I said, "Hey, Jocelyn, how was the last year?" And he was like, "Whoa, do you remember? Do you really remember my name after 1 year?" I said, being cocky, "Of course I do." And he said, "Whoa, do you remember? Do you remember everybody's name?" Of course I do. Of course, that was BS. But then we went to a cocktail once the thing was over, and as at the moment I was starting close up, he stood on a stool and he said, "Everybody, wait, wait. Michel's magic is incredible, but it's nothing compared to his real talent. He remembers everybody's names here." And people went like, "Whoa, wow!" And they went like that. And I took the mic and I said, "Yeah, that's right, Ghislain. That was actually my finale of today's show, but you just spoiled it. So I will stick to close up magic." And so I got away with it. But when I came back in my car, I said to myself, every people I went to see, they all said, "You really remember my name." And they didn't really care about the magic. And I said, if I could really do it, that would be amazing. So I started practicing, and yeah, that's what I do. If I have a show of 70 people or less, I will do it at the end. But during cocktail, I always, always, always remember everybody's names.
So since we're not gonna have time to go too far for, I can't wait to hear about the techniques, and I want to take your course as well. I tried it once just to make a point of it, because when my sister was getting married, everybody would joke about how large his side of the family is. So when I was gonna do some close up magic, meeting all of them for the first time, this whole family, I just made a point, which I never usually do, of just trying to
Which is the
remember,
first step.
and they didn't expect it, and they couldn't believe that I went and did like 30 names in a row, and they got it on video, and they couldn't believe. So of course they assume I can do it all the time, which maybe I'll be able to if I'm hanging out with you and learning some of these skills. So since we can't go through all of it, what would be something that you could tell us? What will be one step to get you closer to where you want to be to enhance that skill?
Well, you have the first step. It's the mindset. If you say to yourself, "Okay, this is my," I mean, don't try to do 70 people the first day. You'll fail. All right, I want to
That's what she
remember
said.
10.
Sorry. We gotta
I
wait
want
till
to
the after.
remember.
We gotta wait for the after hours for
Yeah,
those jokes.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to remember the 10 first people I meet. That's the first thing, the mindset. Then the second thing I can say before going through the technique is to be present. I mean, most people, when they see someone, they go like this and, "Hi, hi, Michael." And they go like this. There's a glass of wine there. There's some hors d'oeuvres of a beautiful woman here. "Oh, hi, Jeff." And they're not present to the person they're talking to. So I think this is a first big thing, to be present. So when I introduce myself and you introduce yourself to me, you are the most important right now. They don't exist. It's Michael. Then I mean, we do magic, so it's easy to repeat your name 2 or 3 times. This is another thing, to repeat it right away. But if I mean, it's awkward sometimes to repeat it 3 times. "Hi, Michael, Michael, Michael." Hey. So I repeat it at least a couple of times in my head. So that's another thing. So before going to the techniques, this is the mindset. You need to be present. You need to have the mindset. You need to be with one person at a time. Then I switch to Meadow, and it's only her. It's only her. You don't exist anymore. You existed 5 seconds ago. And I mean, it's the first thing I do when I go to a cocktail group. There are 10 people. The first thing I do is ask their names. Because if you're going to give them importance, they will give you importance. And I think you need to be interested before being interesting.
Now, do you have a technique so that they will remember your name, like Bill
Yes,
Malone used to do? Yeah.
if you ask their name, they will ask your name. If you remember their name, they will remember your name because they know you've got. And if you do it for 10 people, again, like they did at the wedding of your sister, they think you can do it to the 500 people in the
Right.
building. So they only need to remember one. It's yours. They will remember you.
All right, I have a ton more questions. I hope you can hang out a little longer. We're trying to stick to time. I went a little bit over, but first, looks like Meadow has something going on over here. So I don't want to burst everyone's bubble by letting them know we have to end the
Ooh.
Facebook show, but we will continue on Twitch and we can ask questions and play with bubbles apparently. So yeah, I don't know if you saw the flyer I'd made with she's got a bunch of bubbles like coming out of her hands, and you have like a light coming out of your forehead in the
Really?
yeah, the little MP. I made the little flyer with the yeah,
I
the
didn't see
effects to the
that.
photos.
Oh man, send that to me.
Wait. I'll show you on this. In fact, I'll end by
Yeah.
just throwing that on real quick. Meadow, was there something, anything specific you were about to do with the bubble? I didn't want to cut out.
I
Okay.
was just while you guys were chatting, I was just that's what I
Yeah,
do. I
we
play
saw
with
you.
bubbles.
We saw you playing away. And are you're gonna play a little bit more? Then we'll keep you around
Yeah.
and do some more bubbles.
Of
Excellent.
course.
So I'll show you. I'll cut to this so you can see the effects. So we see a light coming out of Michelle's head, and we see bubbles. It looks like it's coming out of your dress. Just kind of range there. And then I've got sparkles all around me, but that's because I'm hashtag Metro. So there you go. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm gonna end the Facebook portion, but stick around. We're gonna keep going. Take a quick break. I'm gonna go grab something to drink here. Let me do this. That ends there. We're gonna remove and remove this destination. Good. All right. So I think that did it. And now what I need to do is take off the logo here. Should be fine. Let me go. Now I'm gonna go back to you guys. Let me remove the banner. Oh, and we're back. All right. So actually I'm just gonna run and grab something to drink real quick. But Michelle, I don't guess you guys have met before. Meet Meadow. And
Hi.
see, you'll have to remember her name. So Meadow, this is Michelle from Montreal. I'll be right back.
Hi.
Hi,
Nice to
Meadow.
meet you.
How are? Nice to meet you. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you coming to FISM?
I'm not coming to FISM, sadly. I want to, but I also don't have a passport. So
Well, yeah, that's a problem.
yeah. But yeah,
You need
and
a
I
passport
would
because you'll travel a lot now.
I'm starting to travel a lot. So yeah, I should get on getting my passport.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Philadelphia.
Okay. I have lectured there. I will go back
you
soon.
have?
Yeah, in November
nice.
I'll go there.
Awesome. You've been to Smoke and Mirrors Magic Theater?
Not yet, but I'll go. Mike Miller is
Yeah.
doing the whole thing.
Yeah. Mike's becoming a good friend of mine because he's.
I love Mike.
He's
I'll
been
see
kind
you-
of my. He's been kind of my cheerleader. It's been great.
He's a great cheerleader, Mike.
Yeah. It's really good.
I'll
so
see him Saturday, I think, or Sunday.
you're in France?
No, Montreal.
Montreal. Sorry, I thought I heard France.
What country is Montreal in?
It's in Canada.
How far from Philadelphia
Uh,
by car?
good question. Montreal's on the east side, right, of Canada?
Hey, I will quiz the guests. Thank you very much. Poor things. You know, Americans don't know anything about geography. You know that
I've been to
Canadian.
Toronto before you. For some reason, I don't know. We didn't need passports. It was when I was in high school. I went to Toronto, and we also went to Casa Loma. That was great. But I got to sing on the Canadian side at Niagara Falls. I got to sing a big solo. It was great.
Yeah, beautiful place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. There's some people watching that I haven't had the chance to meet in person that don't live too far from Montreal. I'm going to
Mhm.
be in Quebec City for a week. If
Yeah.
I'm coming all that way, I think maybe somebody could, hitchhike or steal a car or find a way to come see me and see all these amazing magicians and say hi to Michelle as well. Just saying. Just
We'll
a
have a
suggestion.
blast.
So did you win the game? The baseball game? I mean, did you? No. Oh.
15-14.
Oh no, wow, that was exciting.
Yeah.
No biter, geez. So that's what you just came from. Oh, I'm sorry that they didn't win, but that's definitely a good game though. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So
run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
no problem. Here, I'll put you back
Cut the
on.
mic. Cut the mic.
So, right, cut the mic. Okay, so there's one thing to perform. and realized that you have this skill and that you're going to share it as part of your act. But then you came the decision to then create the course. So how did that transit? What was the transition there?
Well, 4 years ago, I said to myself, why do I keep that to myself? Because oddly enough, when I started doing all the memory thing, I did not buy books on it. I did not buy videos on it. I just started working on my own. Then I found that I reinvented something that was invented many years ago. So I didn't invent anything. So I started to read books, and man, most books on memories are so boring. I know Harry Lorraine wrote some very good books, but most books that are available at local library and so on are incredibly boring. So I said, okay, I'm going to start a course, well, more a workshop, and this will only be available for entrepreneurs because I do a lot of networking, and a lot of people were bugging me about my memory. So I said, okay, I'm gonna do something for them, and I mean, it was great. When I only kept it for 25 people at a time because it was really a small group, but I mean, I had a lot of people. I had 25 people all the time. And then, well, the pandemic hit. I was doing a lecture tour in France. When it hit, I had to come back, and I literally sat here in in the basement of my house for 4 days, saying to myself, "All right, what will I do next?" And now I was seeing every artist, every magician, everyone doing everything for free on YouTube, on Facebook. There, and I said, that's a mistake. For me, it was a mistake because I mean, we basically lost all our gigs. We will need the money. And so I said, all right, I'm going to take my memory workshop. I'm going to do it on Zoom. And 2 weeks after, I was doing it for a company in France for 150 something people. So, and everyone paid. So, and it was not free. It was $125 per person. So I said, all right, there's something there. So I said, okay, I'm going to do it another. And I think I did it like 100 times on Zoom since. Now I started doing it back live. I do it this coming Friday, about an hour from here, 140 people or so. I wrote a book on it, available on Amazon, but it's in French for now. I'm translating it, but I'm too busy. So it's called The Memory Gym. You can go on my website, memorygym.co. Quebec City is, I didn't have a chance to...
Say it one more time. We'll put it in chat. Is that we put one up earlier? Was that the right?
I don't know. I mean, your face is that small. Imagine the writing.
Already.
So it's memorygym.co.
Yeah. Yes, that's correct. We have it right here. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
.co. Yep. Why did I take memorygym.com? Because it was $18,000 for the M, just for the M. I've got
Wow.
I've got an M in Michel, so I'm good.
All right. So, quick question as I bring back Meadow, but anything going on with the Montreal Trio or the Montrio? Because you know, I miss you guys. I miss you guys so much, and
We
I
miss
love
you, Michael.
anytime you put your heads together. I absolutely adore it. So, yeah, I'm sure the pandemic has, social distancing has kept you apart. But anything going on with the Montreal?
I was with Yannick and Mark yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I'm seeing. Well, we rented a house in Quebec, so we'll all be together. Come with us, and Meadow can join because she has no passport.
Oh yeah, can you get your passport? What do you call it? When you get faster.
Expedited.
Expedite. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word expedite. I wish you had told me, Michelle. I have a hotel, but that was a smarter thing to do. I should have asked around to see if anybody was bunking up. And then, Leclerc called me and said, hey, do you have a 2 beds? I was like, I'll make the change. And I made the change and then called him back. He goes, oh, no, I'm good. I don't need anything. I was like, okay, well, thanks.
Oh, man, I have stories about you guys, about you two.
Me and Leclerc?
Yep.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I won't even hear it. Most stories with that guy, we can't even tell at the after hours party.
No.
Wow.
I won't.
Well, I mean, some of them, at least, happened at 4F.
Yeah.
Like when he came downstairs yelling at everybody that he had bed bugs, ripped his shirt off in the lobby.
No.
That
Yeah.
was just the beginning of it.
I think that's when your hair started gray.
Yeah, probably. Oh man, what a character! So yeah, he's gonna be there as well. We
Yeah.
will have a bunch of fun people hanging out at
We're
Fizzle.
gonna
That's
have a
gonna be cool. In
blast.
fact, I was really glad to see so many people that I know, aren't participating or competing, but wanted to be there and want to be involved. Which most of us, I guess, registered 4 years ago, so we were
Yeah.
gonna go anyway, right? No matter what. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now I'll have a dealer booth. I wish that the Montreal Trio would have been hired to do the act where we're lying on the floor.
I was gonna ask you about that, and I realized like it's so hard to even explain. Do you have video of it?
Yes. You know what? I should have sent it. Can I find it? Let me see.
Yeah, or you can tell us how to look it up.
No, I think it's
I'd
no.
love to share it.
I have to take my phone. Oh man, you know what? I'll have to come back a day that there's no baseball game.
So, since we probably can't tell most of the Eric Leclerc stories, I mean, I don't know, we could probably give a few hints. There is a story that I got Meadows' approval to tell this story in the after hours party of something that happened last weekend.
He's so excited to tell it.
I don't know if I can even tell. So we probably have different versions of the story now. I don't know if I want you to tell it. Is it difficult for you to tell and not
No,
embarrassing?
but I want to hear your version.
I'll tell my version. Okay, so Meadows
great.
says this is what Abel may have heard half of before, not know what I was talking about. So Meadows says, I heard about your FISM act. Is it on video? I'd love to see it. And I said, yeah, sure. Actually, we could watch it on the big screen. It's on YouTube. So it's Meadow. I forget who all was there. Alex from upstate New York, the street performer who was performing, and we're watching my FISM video, and she seems to be really enjoying it. But then all of a sudden she's really enjoying it because it was right at the point, like 8 minutes in, where I'm about to start. I'm producing stuff out of my hat, and she goes, "Oh my God!" She reaches into her shirt and pulls her boobs out. Okay, and then I'm thinking, like, what is happening? And then she screams again, "Oh my God!" and then jumps up and rips her shirt off. And I'm thinking, in 30 years of magic, I've never gotten this kind of response to any of my acts. I mean, it's a good act. And then she screams. Then she screams right after, "Something bit me!" And
Something.
a bee. Well, and later we thought it was I think it was a wasp. Because a bee stung her 3 times. Basically somehow got in her cleavage, was hanging out in her shirt, and then stung her 3 times while she was trying to watch my FISM act. So she's jumping up and down topless, but like embarrassed and laughing, and then like crying because she's in pain. And actually, like, I'm trying to help, but I'm like, I'm like, let me get a napkin. I'll try to catch it because it was like crawling on her, and then
we have a
I was
video.
a little more delicate than that.
I got it all on video. No, I think that's my
No.
that's my.
I was trying to be delicate and precious. I was like, "Why? I don't want to flat." But oh my God, I'm being
Oh my
stung.
God.
No, it's like, oh my God, I thought I was at Mardi Gras, and then
Where are my
and then-
beads?
but amidst all of this is when I was like, all right, I want to be friends with her, because amidst all of this, she's like crying and laughing, and she goes, do you know what kind of bee it was? And I said, no, I don't. I'm worried she's allergic. She goes, it was a booby.
That's great.
Oh, that's gonna be the. That's
It
like
was
the
a
best
booby.
memory ever. I'm
Well-
crying. It's so funny. Oh,
The hell with the bubbles.
I was in a lot of pain.
Yeah, well, I guess Michael was too.
Yeah,
I
it was rough.
pretty
I mean,
was.
I was just trying to be helpful.
That is funny.
But
The hell with the Leclerc story. We don't care about Eric Leclerc now.
yeah, I know. Top that one, Leclerc.
Oh,
Well,
I
half
don't. We
of
know. We never even finished your phys. I never even finished watching your FISM act.
well, no,
Well,
I mean,
After
to
that
be-
happened.
I didn't want to watch
Watch
my
it
act
now.
anymore either. There was
Let's watch it now.
there was a better show going on in the
I'm
room.
scared to watch it now. What else might happen?
Yeah, right.
Well, we want to know.
Oh, and it was good. It was just getting good. I was like right at the climactic point too.
Man,
But
God.
that is funny.
oh
I'm
wow,
clever sometimes.
that was very clever. That was great. What a fun story. So yeah, we saved that one for the after hours party. But
Yeah. Yeah, Meadow flashing because of a. Yep, that's the story.
That's a tagline right there.
man,
That was so
Uh.
funny though. I literally was like, "Why am I being precious about this? I'm being stung to shit. Like, just get this off of me."
A boo bee.
Uh.
Love it.
I mean, yeah. That was impressive. It was impressive that you could think of a joke at that time. That was great.
I've been
Okay.
doing
So,
really a lot better with my improv lately.
oh,
so.
good. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and see, that's what I want to focus on. The reason that I've been trying to pick Michelle's brain is I want to do kind of the similar type program, but with my improv comedy, because I've already been doing these workshops and for companies where it's all the improv comedy principles and how that promotes team building and how to utilize those in different situations. But figuring out that kind of structure, and that's the hardest part, is figuring out, well, how do you market it? How do you do that sort of thing? And I realized right off the bat that he had a totally different angle on how he was going about it, which is why I want to take your course, pick your brain. I'll just pick your brain all next week as well. But so let's say, Michelle, if you were to give like one piece of advice to someone who has an idea like that they're gonna be versatile with and take a challenge or a risk of moving outside their comfort zone, and it may be that they're able to offer online just because that's now the sort of thing that we're doing, or not. But what would be your piece of advice toward figuring out the marketing of it?
Well, you need two things. You need visibility and credibility. And I think most artists focus on the art, and I think you have to be good at what you do. But if you're not visible and if you're not credible, well, if you don't have credibility, you won't succeed. And whenever you have a company and you're not making money, it's because one of those two, credibility or visibility, is having a problem. So you need to go out there. You need to network. You have to meet people and listen before trying to sell your stuff. Listen to what because it's. I mean, I've been in BNI for 11 years. BNI, it's a Business Network International. So it's.
Oh right, yeah. There's they have it here in New Orleans as well.
Yeah. There's 10,000 chapters in the world, so they have it everywhere. And so you need to be in those kind of organizations because they will hook you up with people that make the big decisions. I mean, I'm going in November, going the 2-hour workshop on memory in Jamaica for a client. So, I mean,
nice.
Really, I did it in Mexico just before the pandemic for a company. So you're there for the whole week and you only do a 2-hour workshop, and they pay, of course, the airfare, the hotel, everything, and they pay your fee. And I mean, in the corporate field, you don't need to sell tickets. Yeah, I mean, I don't charge by the number of people. I mean, whether there's 50 people or 500 people, it's the same price.
Now, are you performing these seminars in French and English both, or mainly French, or?
Mainly French, but I can switch from one to the other. It doesn't matter.
I mean, with the Quebecois call French, I should say.
Yeah, the Quebecois. It's the real French, by the way.
It's the real French. Il parle comme ça. So, Meadow, on the subject of marketing, I was complimenting your press kit earlier, and I wanted to get a couple hints of advice from you because it looks like you have everything organized, the exact kind of stuff. Like, I was amazed at how, here's what I need. Okay. And even for the, Michelle missed the magician's pose contest. I'm going to have to show you again what happened there. Meadow lost too. I'll show you. I'll show you what happened. You were close. No, you weren't close. She was close. I'll show you. So, but anyway, while I'm pulling that up, Meadow, what's a couple hints of advice on a good press kit?
Just making it easy for whoever's trying to promote you. Having a video, some pictures, having all the information in your bio. I should really have different versions of my bio on there. I should be doing that. But I do have. That's like my regular press kit that I sent you. I do have one that's for festivals and fairs. That's a whole separate, and there's different types of pictures because they're two different types of branding that I'm going for. So yeah, just making it easy, having like high resolution stuff on Dropbox or Google Photos or Google whatever available for people to easily access, and having that link ready to just bam send them is so great, instead of having to like track it all down, and you're just ready to go.
You probably can't tell. Oh, somebody speaks French. You probably can't tell because the picture's small, but if it's highly pixelated, you can almost see the B in your cleavage if you look closely. So this was Meadows' entry for the pose contest, and then here is Michelle's entry for the pose contest. So
Yeah.
we're going for the best magician's pose, which everybody really enjoyed this one. I told them you were learning Spanish because that's the first step, is if you can spell socks, then you it's lesson 1 SOCKS. That's I learned it on the radio years ago. So then of course then I showed the Meadows, but what could be better, Michelle, than just playing with bubbles, being in a bubble?
Oh man.
So you guys had to compete against David Blaine in a snow globe.
Well, I mean, if I came in third place against Blaine and Meadow, I'm all good with that.
I'm sorry to inform you that you were
Uh-oh.
fourth place because the winner was actually Billy. Billy was the winner. Our new president, the president of the IBM, he was the winner with this
Nice.
awesome magician pose here.
Well deserved.
Definitely well deserved. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, that's how we use those. So there's I try to do a magician's pose contest each time.
Love it.
That's hilarious.
As one of our segments. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But you know what? Meadow said something important for me. She said it should be easy for people. And it's always supposed to be easy to make business with you. Always. So I see so many people being a diva. We're not divas. We all have those green rooms sometimes that are like shit. And oops. Can I say that?
Yeah. No, now we're good. You can even rip your top off if you want. It's fine.
No, I've got a B. I've got a B.
really,
Wait, I have a B.
You have a B.
So yeah, it should be easy to make business with you.
I have a green room as well, but you might like the way my green room looks actually. So.
Oh man, you haven't changed that much, Michael.
Oh, that's what I was gonna tell. I got one story we'll tell half of. No, I bring people here to my red room to see if they are colorblind. So let me turn
Oh man,
that's what's really going on. That's reality. Okay, so because of Eric Leclerc, I was scheduled to perform at 4F and could barely even open my eyes the morning I was supposed to perform. I don't know why he was dead set on bringing me down, but he wanted to make sure that I was not going to be able to function. So here's how it went. I wrote a poem to go with the trick I wanted to do, and I was actually writing the poem, and I was trying it out on Eric. Well, as I'm finishing up what I'm writing and try to like remember it, that's when things got crazy, and I don't even know where we ended up. Cut to him waking me up 30 minutes before I'm supposed to be on stage, and I literally can't open my eyes. I can't. Like, it hurts that bad that I can't. He's standing me up, take a shower. He's like, practice your routine. And I'm like, I can barely stand up. Like, I can't even. I'm like, seriously, dude, I can't. You're going to have to tell Obi I can't go on. He's like, you can't do that. You have to go on. You can't. So I go downstairs, and my head just hits the table. Here comes my savior, Michelle, who just sets a beer down next to my head and says, "Drink it." And I said, "No, I think that's the problem." He goes, "No, you trust me. Drink it now." And the whole reason I was able to stand up and do my 7-minute act without falling over and on my face was because Michelle doctored me and gave me that
Yep.
hair of the dog. It's we say hair of the dog. Abel, do you say nip of the dog? Nip of the dog? Oh, really? We
Uh,
say hair of the dog.
Nip the dog. Yeah, I don't know. I don't
What
say
would
that.
it be? How would you say that in French?
Uh,
Le cheveux de le chien?
no. It doesn't translate well.
Doesn't translate.
No.
Tu dois
no.
manger le cheveux de la chien. Maintenant.
Poutine.
Je mets un peu de cheveux dans ta poutine.
Oh yeah, but
Um,
yeah.
So we have a question from the chat here. Wait, where did it go? Oh, and it is how long did it take both of you to master your craft? So with bubbles and with memory. Meadow, you go first.
Master? I don't know if I've mastered. Have I? I guess I have.
We wouldn't know
it-
because none of us understand bubbles.
It took me a good 2 years, I would say. 2 years to
Wow.
master it. Yeah,
She-
and I'm
she-
still,
yeah.
still
You're faster than me.
yeah. It's funny because I teach other people bubbles, and it is definitely hard to explain. Just the nuance. It's really hard. So yeah.
And I believe. Oh, well, then Michelle, you're going to answer, but I believe Starbreeze had another bubble question. I'll come back to. So, well, Michelle, you have several crafts. So, if the memorization is newer, that's a little bit different question than how long? Because you've been in Magic for how long now? I mean,
28 years.
wow, yeah.
28. So you know what? I think we would need to define the word master. I know that when I'm on stage, I'm like in my living room. I'm basically naked in my living room. I don't have a bee with me, but I'm pretty confident. But I mean, I don't know about master because there's always something that can go wrong, and there's some times where you can give yourself a 9 out of 10, but even though you think you master it, there's sometimes you can have a 3 out of 10. And keep in mind that I'm in the corporate field most of the time. So corporate, they're not there to see you. It's a niche. It's something that I love. I love it. But there's sometimes it's more difficult. So some days you can, I master that craft, and the day after it's like, you're like, you want to cry and you want to have a bee between your boobs because you want to feel something.
You want to feel something. Just want to feel something. Well,
Yeah.
you know, most people subscribe to the 10,000 hour theory that
Yeah.
until you put in 10,000 hours, however long it takes you to put in those 10,000 hours, you haven't actually mastered your
Well,
craft. But
I'm at my 4,800 shows or something. So, yeah.
Well, I think a good distinction is that you find these like things that fail, and you know how to handle them and deal with them so
Yeah.
they don't fail again. I think that's kind of what defines a
Mhm.
master.
Sure.
Yep. Agreed.
being prepared,
failed
which
a
actually I don't think I ever got to tell you my bubble story, Meadow. How could I forget to tell you my bubble story? And
no.
this falls under that whole premise of being prepared. And I think as good magicians, to really create a magical moment, it's not even about your show. It's not about when you're hired. It's about you making the day magical for someone because you were prepared to do so, and it looks completely impromptu. So I was asked to judge a stripper contest on Bourbon Street.
I'm noticing
Like
a theme
we all-
with you.
This is New Orleans, okay? It's I live in New Orleans. This is a normal thing. So you know they have these celebrity judges, and they have we're gonna rank them. I don't remember how, and then one of them's gonna win and go to Vegas. One of them gets a trip to Vegas to go compete in the finals or whatever. So we're seeing these acts. Well, out comes Bubbles. Bubbles the stripper, and very very smartly had assistants, entourage, blowing bubbles all around the stage. So while Bubbles was performing, we had the ambiance and the atmosphere of Bubbles. So what did I do? I just reached out in the air and plucked the bubble out of the air. And then look at it, and set it in my pocket. And Kitty Chaos is sitting next to me and goes, "Wow, you are prepared."
Wow.
So
Love
yeah,
it.
it's all about being prepared. And she won. Bubbles was also prepared. Bubbles went to Vegas because Bubbles had props. We were like, "What's the rule about props? No rules against it." So we appreciated the bubbles, the ambiance floating through the air.
You remember it.
Yeah, well, I definitely remember it. Remember it well. Great moment.
Yeah, you only remember the bubbles, right?
I was gonna say, now I'm extra noticing a theme.
Yeah, I know. It's like the only thing missing here is a B. That's the only thing.
Just wait around long enough. So Star had asked earlier. Before we switched over, she said, "I want to hear more about the exploding bubbles." So I'm assuming she wants to hear more about how you set the house on fire. Sorry, he wants attention.
Guys, I gotta leave. It's an hour later here, and
Oh yes,
I'm I wake up very, very early.
no problem. I
Meadow,
was actually realizing we probably needed to shut it down.
Meadow, it was nice talking to you. Michael.
You too.
Yeah, thanks. Michael, I'll give you a big freaking hug next week.
Yes, can't wait to see you. Thanks. I'm so glad you made it. We're going to talk more, so we'll be bringing you back. But thank you. Round of applause for Michelle, everybody who is in Canada, and it's late. And, yep, bye-bye. And now what we're going to do is, I want to let you talk about the exploding bubbles, and then we'll end on that note. But if we can, since you got to meet a lot of the Twitch family last night, if we can pull you into Discord and show you what that's about, we can chat some more and hang out there. And if any of my people are going to play Soccer Car, you can see what that game's about, since I was telling you about it. It's a great one to stream on Twitch. And Fitz says hello to everybody. This is Fitz. Fitz says hi.
Hi, kitty.
Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Say hi to Meadow. All right, so exploding bubbles. At what point did you realize that you can make them explode?
I've seen other fire performers and bubble artists do it. So I started doing it, and it was terrifying at first. And it's funny because like when I first started doing it, it was like, oh fuck, I'm on fire. Like, it's terrifying. But now when I perform it, it's just like, I'm on fire and this is fine. It's great. And it was so funny because a few weeks ago I did the Midsummer Fantasy Renaissance Fair up in Ansonia, Connecticut, with Daniel Greenwolf, who is an illusionist up there. And he runs the Ren Fair. And we always do, every Saturday night of the Ren Fair, we do this improv fire comedy show, which are a string of words that probably should not go together. But we always do something dumb and stupid with fire. And so this was my first year doing their fair and being a part of the fire show, because I was like, I'll bring my bubbles. I'll bring my fire bubbles. So they were all for it. And it was funny because there was like 5 other performers that are comfortable with fire, like eating torches, fire manipulation, breathing fire, juggling fire, all these things, right? They're super comfortable with fire. But I did the fire foam on their hands, and we did this like pass off of the fire, and all of them were like quickly like getting rid of the fire. And here I am at the end going with the fire. And it was so funny to see because I'm coated in bubbles, so that like protects me from the fire, and the butane, it just burns off so quickly. So it's just like this thing that I'm used to now. I'm a master of, because I've experienced it. But,
Master of the elements. Well, y'all didn't practice it first. You didn't practice with them first. You just basically set their hands on fire. It's okay. You have bubbles. You see the firemen running in. The house is ablaze. It's okay. We have bubbles.
It's okay. We have bubbles.
We're gonna get through this.
But yeah, so I didn't know at the IBM convention that I was allowed to do fire until like the very last minute. I'm not going to say who.
Well, you weren't allowed to. I don't think you were allowed to do fire. That was it. But I said, well, oh, you mean me? Because I said it.
Yeah, no, I got permission, quote unquote, from somebody.
I said ask for forgiveness. not permission.
Yeah, he was like, I don't know anything. I was like, okay, cool, I'm doing fire.
Oh wow.
And I
Wait,
found out though.
wait, did it sound like this? I don't know anything.
No,
Was it? No. Okay. No. Okay. No.
you're
so
close
somebody
though.
else.
You're really
So-
close.
all right.
You're really close. But the thing that caused them to decide not to have any pyrotechnics was the Wushan. Was it Wushan? Was that what they were called? Their act?
Yes, I
The
believe so.
Wushan, their pyrotechnics, because I guess they use like gunpowders and stuff, it set off some alarms because of
Okay.
the like, I don't know what that's called, the residue from it. Like the
Yeah.
butane, even though it's big and impressive, it doesn't have any smoke or residue from it.
Right.
So it didn't set off any alarms.
Which was unfortunate because we saw them the first time, and obviously it adds a huge visual
Yeah,
element.
it
But
really
what was
does.
impressive is how they were able to adapt without one of
Yeah.
their specialties and still pull off what was an amazing and beautiful act. Of course, we all wanted to see it once we had with the fire, and it always
Sure.
enhances it.
Actually,
But wow, what an incredible, so gorgeous! I can't wait to see that act again.
do you want me to do the fire?
Yes, but I want you to be careful, and actually, let's tell Abel to look away. She won't allow me. I can't do fire in here now while she's here, because my
she's
assistant
here.
Abel will quit if I ever try to juggle fire
do fire.
within my studio. So
Oh, I'm a pro. I'm a professional.
okay, but you've done it inside your studio before.
I do it all the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I always say I'm a professional, and then I drop the torch. All right, well we have the protection of Bubbles.
We have
Bubbles,
protection
unite!
of-
Oh,
I'm gonna-
this will be a great way to end it, though. But please be careful.
I'm always careful. I'm a professional. Okay, ready? Can I get a drum roll, please?
Yeah, actually, we should. Oh, there should be it. Yep. Brrr. We have a rim shot.
That's it. That's the fire. That's the fire bubble.
Nice. That does look amazing.
Doesn't it?
Very cool.
It looks real. It looks. I mean, it is dangerous.
Can we clip
I'm not
that?
gonna lie. It is dangerous, but yeah. It's not as dangerous as you think it is.
Well,
I shouldn't say that. It's very dangerous. Don't play with fire. Don't play
Yeah.
with fire.
yeah, kids, try this at home.
Don't try
Just-
this out.
It's just Bubbles. It's just Bubbles.
I mean, I've had a fire safety course. I have a fire extinguisher right here. I have a fire blanket. I have all the things. I am protected. But I've never had an incident happen. And
I have
not
a fire extinguisher and a parking meter and
mean,
a rubber chicken, just in case.
I do like there's no hair doesn't grow right here on my arm because the fire just burns it right off. But it makes for some great photos. I look like Scarlet Witch or something, like with the fire.
Oh
great.
yeah. Oh, you could probably cosplay as her as well.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Yeah.
always be Elsa. What is
I've-
this link? What is this link? Oh, that's the clip. Oh, cool. Oh, okay. I tried to clip it too. I don't know if yeah. So with Twitch, you can just like grab a clip of what happened in the last 60 seconds. But wait, it's not letting me. Let me see if I guess I have to come over here to do it. So we can see it. Yep.
I'm not gonna get like your channel banned, am I, from playing with fire?
I have
TikTok
to
does not like fire at all.
Oh yeah. Well, wait. Talk about that real quick. Of why you thought you were you had a lot of viewers, and then why you were losing them, and then meanwhile I'll try to pull this clip
Yeah,
up
so,
on my OBS.
So anything that's fire, like I don't know if they have like an AI system that automatically flags things, but for one, it takes a long time for those videos to get approved and processed, and then two, the viewers count seems to be suppressed. So, like I normally get a couple thousand views within an hour, and now I'm getting like 76, and I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, oh, I shared a fire video. So that sucks. But
Huh.
yeah, they don't seem to like fire. And I actually have a friend of mine, Adamo Ingus, she's a fire performer. She's phenomenal. She does a lot of Ren fairs, and all she does is fire manipulations, fire breathing, fire torch eating, all that stuff. And she can't share her stuff on TikTok because it gets no views. It sucks.
I wouldn't have realized. I mean, I have fire juggling videos on mine too, and I'm wondering, is that hurting me? I have no idea.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the clip. Yeah.
Yeah, see? I'm on fire. It's fine. Nothing to see here. I'm on fire. It's fine. Just gonna watch it again.
Well, because now I'm trying to take it off, and like I've way too many. I lost track of where it is. I don't know. What, hold on. Can I get a drum roll, please? It's like Groundhog Day.
It is like Groundhog Day.
Why won't
You
it
know what? I
stop?
used to have a thing to like slyly set it on fire, and so I didn't have to like have a lighter to bring it out, but it would always get wet with bubbles, and then it wouldn't work. So I need to figure out a way to like make that magical looking, like it's just set on fire with magic.
That's a huge flame. Huge flame.
Thanks. That's what she said.
Suppose TikTok is down on fire because the platform has a lot of kids who like to duplicate other cool videos.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense, but I mean, it seems like there'd be other things that would concern them more, you know.
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So, but like I always write on there, like these are trained professionals, don't try, but it's still, yeah.
Twitch doesn't care about flames. Yeah, we have a hot tub category, and they didn't seem to care about the fact that people were forgetting to not bring cords and electronic stuff near the hot tub. It's like, come on, people.
Oh my God. That
some sense,
sounds
yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah, so I guess it's not a concern, but we're supposed to be an over 18 channel here anyway. So, can you still hear it? I still have the clip going. I can still hear it over and over. Can I get a drum roll, please? I just stopped it. I just stopped it. Cool. Thank you for the clip. All right, so I'm gonna end these streams, but let's see if you can figure out. You have a Discord, right? So
I have Discord. I friended you.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll find if you can get to my waiting room. Then because you're
on
not
your
gonna have
free-
permissions and stuff, we'll pull you down into. We're gonna go to my. I guess we'll go to the soccer channel.
Okay.
So see if you can find me there. But
Freak VR or not Magic Mike?
Freak VR.
Okay.
Yeah, I meant look for my cousin.
Oh,
Yeah,
look for your cup.
Yeah, look
Okay.
for my cousin Freak, and I'll meet you there. And so yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll get you in. But for everybody watching, I hope to have a live stream next week from FISM at some point. We might be able to interview some people, might be able to show some activity. There's so many awesome magicians going to be there. We'll be in Quebec, Canada. But before that, make sure to tune in tomorrow and Friday to the Freak Show because it's Whipping Wednesday tomorrow. It's a pistol whip and a huge stream on Friday trying to do some kind of subathon and keep things going because then there's no Freak for a number of weeks. So this is us blowing you off. Yay! Oh, I should raid the Twitch channel. I'm going to do that before I actually end the broadcast. So let me see. Do we have anybody on that could do a raid real fast? No way. He won't. I don't think he'll know. I wonder if he would know who I even am coming from this channel. But oh, sure. Why not? This is one of my Twitch Sings friends who does karaoke. Oh, we didn't get to hear your beautiful singing voice, so we'll have to bring you back, of course, and do some singing.
Oh no,
but
you have to bring me back.
She's for those of you on Smule. You can also find Meadow on Smule. She's on Smule doing. So I guess I'm gonna have to get into it now since y'all had the ninja singing. So we'll figure it out. But we're gonna rate Gloop Dog, who does all kind of karaoke. He's hilarious. One of my favorite guys. He actually made partner with Twitch Sings before that wasn't an app anymore. That took him all the way to Twitch partner. That's how amazing. So everybody say, oh, what's the catchphrase? We don't have a say. Just say not that Magic Mike. You can say Freaks in the house and use the Freak emails. Doesn't matter. Let's see if he'll figure it out. We're gonna raid now. And as soon as that goes through, I'm gonna end the stream. No, because I accidentally did, I think, a host instead of a raid. I didn't do it right. Did I do it right? No, I did start raid, or did I say start host? I don't know. I always do it backwards. He'll figure it out. Oh, he does. He just said he remember. Okay. That's funny. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.
Here he goes. Here he goes.
So, is he a magician as well? He does magic shows on Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that. He's been a magician for what, almost 20 years. He's a fucking legend.
Oh,
I
did not know
It's
that.
all thanks.
Everyone fights.
Well, I had hit the button too, so he might end up getting like a couple of raids. That's hilarious. All right. All right, so this is us signing off of both the YouTube and the Twitch, and those of you that want to hang out in Discord will be there in a minute. Good night. Oh yeah, I need to go to his channel. Okay. Gloop Dog. There he goes. No, I didn't rate the. Oh, I did the wrong channel. I can't. Oh my god, I never did rate. Okay, wait, I still didn't end it. I didn't. No wonder it wouldn't make sense. I rated from the wrong channel. That's why he was talking about Freak. What the? Because I was like, oh, I guess there's only 2 people here. Wait, let me put it back on then. He's so hilarious.
Horrible Jeff Goldblum.
Hold on, I'll get it right. Ah. Oh well.
Oh my
Try
God.
and you try and see. I haven't put 10,000 hours in. I'm not a master of this craft. I rated from a channel that didn't have anybody there.
Oops.
Let's try from here. Okay.
Did you hear
Oh,
that?
but wait, didn't you say you rated from the?
Discord?
Yeah. No.
Oh, you
I heard
on
it.
the stream. You heard
Yeah.
the stream. Listen to it one more time.
So wait, so it did
I've
rate.
never had a cameo from Jeff Goldblum before. Thank you for buying that.
This is Jeff of Gold.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, I got you. So we did. Okay, we got it. We did it. All right.
Luxurious.
There we go.
Grabs this like a good boy. It was like.
It's good. He likes Calbee snacks.
Such a dummy.
Flashpoint show. I heard there was a tailwagon party in here.
Yeah, we're gonna try to find her in Discord. So let's get that hooked up. And if we can't find you, I'll call you. But thank you and ending broadcast now.